tattoo artists of Reddit. What clients irritate you the most? The clients that ask you what they should get. The others that come in with some sick tat design they had their friends draw because he is the sickest, gnarliest artist they know, and get offended when you ask if you want it drawn up nicely changed. That bit me in the butt one time. Some guy came in with a drawing that looked like a child did it and I asked him if he just wanted that idea drawn up to look nice. It was really crappy. He said no, that he wanted it exactly like that. I said alright, it's your body. Once the stencil was drawn up and on him and I began tattooing him, he explained that his son had drawn it for him before he passed away. He was 7. Man, I felt terrible. You think he would have mentioned that during the consultation? It seems weird to not say something when you ask to clean up the artwork. Well, at least I would have said something sooner. That's why I wouldn't let it make you feel like an but. None of us can read minds. My tattoo artist had quite the client. Not really irritating so much as amusing. A man and his wife come in to get a piece done that they had been planning for some time. The husband and wife were really into the dominatrix slave thing. So much so that the man wore a chastity belt to which his wife held the key. He wore this belt all year round except for one day a year, which was his birthday. Just so happens the piece was somewhere on his pelvic region. The artist got everything prepped and ready to go and instructed the woman to take off the man's chastity belt. Well, the second that chastity belt came off, the man got an instant erection and inked all over the floor. Pavlovian ejaculation. By price shoppers I mean price gougers. Yo, I can get that same thing down the street from my boy in his kitchen for $50 and a pack of smokes. Giving quotes on work is a part of my job daily. Sorry if that came across incorrectly. Price shoppers and the I need IT now people. The very headstrong and inflexible. The overly dramatic. The ones who pass out. I have some stories, but I would just like to say, I attempt to respect every tattoo that comes in, and take it upon myself to help educate a prospective client as to what makes a decent tattoo and what makes an excellent tattoo. The cliche trends are going to come and go, and for me as an artist to sit here and mock people for what they want on their bodies is taking food off my son's plate. Tribal armbands were the rage forever, and lower backs, now it's ribs, infinity symbols, dandelions morphing into birds, etc. If you don't want to tattoo something, create a unique style that people seek you out for, and you will find yourself doing these types of tattoos so infrequently that it almost becomes a nostalgic thing when you do have to do one. I feel as though the industry as a whole could use a little honor and humility. We are not judges, we are technical artists. Rise above and respect tattooing and your client. People who pass out are only annoying because in my consultation process I make sure to tell clients day of your tattoo, make sure you have a good meal about an hour before you get tattooed. Need your blood sugar up 9 times out of 10 they say that haven't eaten. Hence my annoyance. I would be in butthole if I was annoyed that someone's body went into shock. You are awesome, and I would love to come to your shop. Been tattooing for 10 years now and have had the full gauntlet of problematic and irritating clients. Let me break a few of them down. The hot-headed macho dude. These guys are probably my least favorite. They come into the shop with grand ideas about huge pieces and an all-out manly sense of I can do anything. Get tattooed all day, no problem. Once you finally get through the initial drawing stencil and get ready to tattoo, the manliness goes right out the window. The big issue isn't the attitude, it's the fact they sit stubbornly as they have something to prove. They flinch, squirm and make the tattoo take longer and be way more work. The why are you doing that and shouldn't you do it this way client? Another nightmare session is the one where the person watches the process and makes suggestions, tries to tell you how to do it. This happens quite frequently some weeks, and I think it really has a lot to do with the onslaught of tattoo TV shows. The why is it so much money and why can't you do this image I picked off Google for $100? Another repercussion of the tattoo TV show world is people come in the door with huge pieces. They expect the drawing and prep to be done in 10 minutes and them to be out the door in an hour when the image they have in mind is better suited for a 3-4 hour sit. The I don't know what I want but I just want a tattoo person. These ones are particularly frustrating as I can only give so much suggestion direction for a piece and really don't want to just say, well, how about a star or a lovely quote on your ribs. There are so many more. Maybe I'll reply again if they come to mind. Oh yeah, also please don't ask for a deal like we are buddies the day we meet. Bring 20 friends to see you get your tattoo or keep asking to stop for your phone Instagram photo shoot while I work. Artist of 3 years here. I can deal with the wigglers, complainers, nitpickers, and those with 1000 annoying questions. The clients that get me the worst are the ones that come into the shop with a really dumpy attitude. They come in like someone is holding a gun to their head. They seem to forget that they are the ones approaching us. We're not heckling them on the street to come in. It doesn't matter how politely I greet, how friendly, simple, upbeat I try to keep the questions for them. Some people walk in and just treat the artists like we owe them something. They act like me taking my time to draw something to the absolute best of my ability. Sometimes many times, to put on them forever is an inconvenience to them. They manhandle the portfolios and get that look anytime you open your mouth like you're a moron. I just don't get that. Why be rude? I don't even know you and all I want to do is something that makes you happy and feel good and proud of your investment. I want to get to know you and let you know a little about me. I want to create something unique and special just for you. I want you to be comfortable. And even if it's a fad tattoo that I've done 4 other times on 4 other people that week alone, I still want you to have a great experience all around. Don't even want a tattoo or are unsure, but have some questions? Great. Let's talk for a few minutes. This is why in return, I always hope for a little respect when you walk through the doors. So, hang up your phone, ask questions composed of full sentences, get control of your children, don't be a jerk about the process, and for God's sake, smile. Another question for a tattoo artist: is it annoying if your customers bring friends? Backstory: my friend is going to get a tattoo by the end of this year and asked me and another friend to come with him. I just genuinely wondered if it is annoying. It is just the 3 of us that will be there and my other friend already got a tattoo so he can help my friend through it. I'm just there because he asked me and I'm curious how it goes since I've never seen it happen. If they bring 1 or possibly 2 friends, depending on the shop, it would be okay. To bring all of your friends, absolutely not. I'd say ask your friend to call the shop ahead of time and ask if it's okay, as every shop is different. One time when I was getting my leg done, I went in and the artist's back room door, where he does the work, was shut. He never shuts the door, unless he's doing boobs or something. There's an uneasy, tense atmosphere in the shop. 3 young, early 20s, girls are hanging about, very quietly. I ask the reception guy what's going on. He silently shakes his head and closes his eyes. At this point the door flies open, and another young girl bursts out in floods of tears, like screaming, crying. The other girls follow her out without a word and they all head down the street. Then the artist, a totally chill hot rodder dude, storms out in a rage, yells I'm going for a smoke and goes out, pacing up and down the street, totally out of character. I turn back to the reception guy and he tells me the girl had come in and asked for a cartoon devil off the flashboard on her shoulder. Fine, no probs. 85 million pound dears. Can you write hex angel around it? Hex at the top and angel at the bottom. Bit kinda curved. When I arrived, he'd been spending the last 15 minutes or so explaining to this girl exactly who the hex angels are and what they'd do if they saw it. He also had to explain what our local outlaw biker gang, we don't have an 81 chapter here, would do if they saw it. Yep. When I was an apprentice, a guy came in, all John Wayne bad but wanting 2 big tigers on his chest with some water, rock sand, wind bars, traditional Japanese. So I say, sure, I'll draw it up for you, just make an apt. He comes back 2 weeks later and I've drawn it up and my boss Ben stencils it on and John Wayne goes for a smoke. They commence tattooing and after about 5 minutes this guy says he has to make a phone call. So my boss says no worries and the guy steps out front again. He comes back and exclaims his daughter must be picked up from the doctors and can he come back in 20 minutes? Ben says sure, you have booked the time and there is nothing much I can do about it and lets him go. He calls back about 10 minutes later telling us his wife is in labor and he can't come back. Somewhere there is a guy with a tiger arm, some tiger chest hair, half a wave and a rock on some guy. TLDR. Guy gets tattoo, can't handle it, makes wild excuse, leaves with a QTR of a tiger. He just wanted the drawing, skipped out to have his buddy finish it on the cheap. Apprentice here. A 20-something girl came in with a posse of her friends to get an astrological symbol on her foot. While waiting for us to set up, she was extremely obnoxious and inappropriate, loudly discussing her private life in detail, making frequent lewd jokes, etc., disturbing the atmosphere of the shop for the rest of the clients. When sat on the tattoo bed to be tattooed, she pulled back her foot for about 5 minutes, whimpering and squealing. I strongly believe she was not actually afraid because she had other tattoos, but was just being dramatic. My artist told her several times that she should either sit still and get it over with or leave, and she finally extended her foot. While being tattooed, she moaned, and I mean moaned and squealed and wriggled and moved the entire time, while demanding her friend present her tea to grab for comfort. My artist wasn't able to do his job properly and her tattoo didn't turn out as clean as it could have been. He said she was the worst client he had ever had. I don't remember the girl's name but wouldn't disclose it in any case. This happened in a suburban Chicago shop. My ex is a tattoo artist. His biggest gripes are 1. People that tell him over and over again how high their pain tolerance is, only to flinch and or cry the minute the gun comes on. 2. Ink addicts. Not people that just have a lot of tattoos. People that get so many tattoos in so short a span of time that they start to reject ink and mess up good work. They then usually blame the artist. Usually, these people will go to multiple artists and not be honest about their last tattoo or how much recent work they have had. 3. People that smack their tattoos to set them. Do you have any idea how maddening it is to sit for hours, hunched over someone's arm or leg, trying your absolute best to do your best work on their art, because they will have it for the rest of their lives and obviously means something to them, only to have them stand up and smack the crap out of it, destroying a good deal of fine detail and making the borders bleed? It's freaking infuriating. 4. Drug addicts. One tattoo that my ex did was on someone that he didn't know was using drugs. It was a very impressive, detailed Grim Reaper on his arm. He shot H through it less than a day later. The skin bubbled up and chemical burned, basically, and he told everyone that he got an infection from my ex's work. Not true. That lie didn't last long, as his boss made him go to the hospital, fearing that he may have received a chemical burn while at work, and it came out how his arm actually got messed up. Not to mention anyone using intravenous drugs is not likely to be honest about it, and that poses a risk to the tattoo artist. I'm not a tattoo artist, but I have a story about an annoying acquaintance of mine. A friend and I were getting tattooed and this annoying acquaintance kept trying to convince the artist to give her a free tattoo. He kept refusing, but eventually he couldn't take it anymore. She was an anti-corporate type of girl, so he offered her a choice between the Starbucks logo or his name. I doubt he expected her accept. She chose his name. She tried to add me on Facebook a few years ago and I saw the tattoo in big, bold script still on her arm. Skinner. For those not in the know, Skinner is prison slang for rapist, at least where I live. Apprentice here. My biggest pet peeve is people who call and want a price over the phone. I can't price something I can't see. And a close second would be the kinds of clients that try to get you to add something extra to the tattoo in the middle of it being done. They do this because they think I will agree and they can get the extra stuff for free. When I say people that call about a price, I don't mean the reasonable people that have an exact design, that can tell me exactly what, where, and how big. I mean the unreasonable clients with a vague idea that call and go yeah how much would you charge me for blah 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 and automatically assume I can just picture it in my head and give them an exact amount that instant. I've found I can get an over the phone estimate on a particular guy's time if I have the inch dimensions of the final piece. I can tell him how many colors it uses. I can classify it as highly or not very detailed. I am willing to accept an estimate with a leeway of at least 40%. I've spent nearly a decade and a half in this world and I can offer a unique perspective. Twitchers, I can handle. Impulsives, no problem. Difficult personalities, perk of the job. But the most irritating clients on earth are those whose concept of tattooing is derived entirely from reality shows that make no attempt at portraying objectivity or even reality. Some people roll through thinking they are going to get an entire arm or back custom drawn and completely tattooed in a matter of hours. Some people think, due to television, that every tattoo must have a sob story attached to it and so on. TV dramatized tattooing, and now some clients play into it. This whole issue goes on, and if I get too deep into it, I'll never stop. Oh, and guys, it's always guys who try to pretend like they fell asleep during a session. Some of them have even feigned a snore and pretended to startle awake, proclaiming proudly, "Sorry bro, guess I fell asleep for a second." They do this just so they can tell their friends that they did. I'm good friends with a tattoo artist, and her number one pet peeve is when people bring children to the shop. She says it's not a place for kids, so leave your babies at home, guys. She also hates annoying teenagers and religious tattoos, but that's probably just a personal preference. Not a tattoo artist, but I've been using the same artist for the last 3 years and I'm pretty sure I drive her absolutely insane. Everything that I've gotten from her has been custom based on an idea of mine, but I'm extremely particular, and so the initial sketches are usually sent back to her 5 and 6 times asking for little adjustments here and there. I'm sure while it might be a tad annoying for her, she understands. Though, I'm not going to permanently ink something on my body that I feel just slightly okay about. I need to know it's exactly what I envisioned and wanted. I'm just guessing, but I would think that most quality tattooists would rather you be thrilled with the end result rather than simply satisfied. The one tattooist I've known as well as the guy that did my tattoo both say they'd much rather spend the extra time on a well-chosen custom piece than do another butterfly or boyfriend's name or overused inspirational quote. Ones who get swastikas and other symbols of that sort. I'm not a tattoo artist, but my brother is, and he gets way more of those kind of requests than you would think. The tattoo parlors I've been won't do those kinds of tattoos. The clients who won't get tattoos in certain places on their body because of how much their friend said it would hurt. A couple hours of pain seems microscopic compared to a lifetime jug of frickin' rad juice. Lifetime jug of frickin' rad juice. I would like to acquire a jug like this. Here's a question I have for tattoo artists. What's the best way to go about discussing subtracting smoke break times from my total hourly? I pay my artist hourly, but I've found that he smokes cigarettes quite a bit. I don't mind, as I used to smoke and understand. I'd rather my artist not be jonesing while tattooing me, but this guy sometimes takes a break every 30 minutes, and at roughly 10 minutes a cigarette. That time adds up. Is this something I should expect, or is there a way to remedy the problem without coming off as a B? My grandpa is a tattoo artist and has been for 40 something years. His biggest complaints that I heard were, and I am going to be quoting him here, "Dumbass kids who want to get their retarded girlfriend's name on them. Freaking retards don't understand that your wife can leave you tomorrow, but the tattoo is forever. I'm so freaking done with retarded butt girls asking to get a freaking butterfly above fire. Butt angle, when the heck did tattooing go from a bad butt way to show how tough you are, to this crap?" Every time a client comes in and wants a significant other's name initial, I try to talk them out of it. Every time. I'm costing myself money trying to help people not make a terrible decision. I want to ask something of you tattoo artists as well. I have a piece that I've drawn myself, but want critique on it. Do most places charge for that? I can't afford a tattoo right now, but would love to at least have the idea solidified. It varies from shop to shop, but I don't think most places charge for a consult. If you want the artist to read or tweak aspects of your design, they will probably charge you for that. To me, the worst are walk-ins that come in the shop with their idiot boyfriend, 18-20 yo, and they want their name tattooed where it shows, hand, forearm, neck. Most of them we refuse to do it because it's dumb as crap, and second, well, it's dumb as crap. But sometimes the days are slow and you still gotta make some cash cause rent is so dang high, so you gotta do them walk-ins. And you feel like writing your mom should have erased a right instead of Tyrone. 3. My friend, she sucks, wanted a small design on her wrist. First tattoo, as her only friend with tattoos. 3 small pieces. I took her to the parlor that did mine. I'd researched for months before I got my first. I knew this place was good. They gave her a guesstimate of £60. Not unreasonable for a small design. She threw a hissy fit, said they were ramping up the prices for London trade, regardless of the 2-month waiting list, and she'd rather go to this little crappy parlour in our bumfuck village where they would do the design for £15. This is going to be on your body for the rest of your life. If there is anywhere where quality is more important than price, it's body art. Infuriating. It's not a haircut that will grow out if it goes wrong. Research. Invest in quality. If it's terrible, you're partly to blame. You chose the design. You chose the artist. You paid the price. As a heavy modification artist, the worst is the epileptic clients that lie on the consent forms. There's a reason you have to check yes or no for 20 questions on my consent form before I do a procedure on you. I hate people having seizures. I also hate the people that lie when I ask them if they had eaten yet today. So many say yes, then pass out during the procedure. Then I ask them when the last time they ate was again, and it turns out it was yesterday. If they would have just been honest, I could have given them a candy bar ahead of time to raise their blood sugar and prevent a passing out. People, when your artist asks you a question, be honest. We don't care what your answer is, as long as it's the truthful answer. And we don't talk crap about you after you leave if you happen to be one of the types clients mentioned in this thread, for more than a day or two. Oh, and one more thing. If you didn't want me to take a picture of your finished artwork, you shouldn't have said yes on the consent form for granting me permission to take and use pictures for any reason I wish. Oh, and yes, the metal music is entirely freaking necessary at all times. Exceptions made on a case-by-case basis in my private booth. Sometimes the client gets control of Pandora for the duration of their procedure. And no, you can't bring all 5 of your friends into my room. The door clearly says no more than 2 people. And personally, I prefer only 1 person or ideally no people. If it's a family member like mom or dad, then that's always fine, of course, though. No, you can't take a selfie on your phone in my booth. No, you can't text or talk on your phone while I'm doing the procedure. Oh, one more thing. Guys 18 plus dating underage girls. No, she cannot come into my booth and watch you get your dong pierced cut. Weird freaking people, I'll tell you what. That last sentence made me like you a lot. The most irritating clients to me are those who 1. are getting a stomach piece and will not stop talking. You talk, your stomach moves. 2. refer to my tattoo machine as a tattoo gun. It's not a gun, it is a machine. I can't shoot you with it, no matter how badly I'd like to. 3. ask me if it's going to hurt. Nope honey, it's gonna feel like it's being licked on by baby unicorns. 4. ask me what the friend price is. Immediate 20% increase in the cost of the tattoo. If we were truly friends, you wouldn't ask me to take a cut in my paycheck. I don't go to your work and ask you to give me a discount. 5. come in for a tattoo while hacking and coughing. If you're sick, please reschedule. Not only will I understand, I will be grateful. And don't bring anyone with you who is sick, ever. My friend is an artist and also a gay man. A lot of people expect him to be straight because he has face tattoos and looks like a badass and isn't effeminate at all. He had this dong head come in to get his first tattoo. It was a big piece on his chest. Partway through, this freaking bro douchebag starts rambling about how much he hates gay people. Normally this doesn't bother him, but this dude wouldn't stop. He doesn't say anything and finishes the tattoo. He then proceeded to spray maticide, an extremely powerful antiseptic used to sterilize surfaces, on this guy's fresh ink and then wrapped it up. The douche is screaming and saying, "Is this supposed to hurt this much?" He just looked at him and said, "Yeah, it's a frickin' tattoo." If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.